Under the sweltering summer heat, when all the coffee plants have dried up and the passing vehicles of the Chinese traders leave clouds of dust, Dodong, an 8-year-old fair-skinned boy, stands in front of the Chinese man's store. Dodong doesn't budge nor speak. He is too embarrassed. He's been frozen right in front of Kiama's store for 5 hours, looking down at his wooden clogs and on the verge of crying. But the Chinese store owner knows what he needs, a gantang of rice to tide him and his family over on another day of hunger. It is 1958. This happened over and over again. Dodong, the youngest among the brood of 9, being sent by his parents, Jose and Maria, and older siblings to borrow rice from the Chinese.
Katong sa unang panahon, pobre pa sila, unya, tig-supply mi og mga bugas, kan mga sabon, o mga isda. Mingon naman akong papa nga, asa nang bayad daw sa kuwan, katong gipanguha ni pastor. Utang ang among gingon, iya tong giutang pero bayaran. Ingon siya, mahapay na daw siya.
I remember my own childhood when I was deprived of the basic necessities that a child really needs in life. In my growing years, poverty has deprived me of the joys of my childhood.
Dodong knows exactly how it's like to sleep hungry. And so Dodong, who at the age of 10 had to work hard in order to continue his elementary education, had been implanted with a passion in his heart that when he grows up, he would help needy children.
In my heart of hearts, when the Father called me and sent me as an anointed, appointed Son of God, I vow in my heart that if He will bless me, I would dedicate a bulk of that blessing to help the children. Thus, the Children's Joy Foundation was born, whose mission and vision is to help feed, clothe, shelter, and send to school these children who cannot afford.
Dodong, the once shy boy in wooden clogs, is now an international evangelist, known by millions as Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy, leader of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ and founding president of the Children's Joy Foundation, Incorporated. The story of his ministry, starting from 15 faithful members in Davao City, is no longer strange to many. What is unknown to most people is that Pastor Apollo started taking in destitute children in his congregation back in the day, when he barely had enough to provide for his workers and church members. The pastor revealed that his ministry of love and compassion is entwined with his mission to preach the gospel to the poor, both physically and spiritually. As the years progressed, the Davao-based congregation grew and spread all over the country. The pastor is now able to provide food, shelter, and free education for more children, most of whom are being endorsed to the ministry's home base in Davao City or in Manila. Some of these children have no parents, only distant relatives who have heard of Pastor Apollo's kindness. These benevolent acts continued through the years until Pastor Apollo, together with his trusted administrators and workers, decided to put up a foundation that would help more underprivileged children. On June 15, 1998, the Children's Joy Foundation was born. Pastor Kibuloy's unparalleled love for children stems from his experience and memories of hardship as a young boy. Thus, he called his group's charitable arm, the Children's Joy Foundation, as a giver of joy to children in need. He sees to it that through the CJFI, more destitute, abandoned, and neglected children will be rescued from those of poverty and suffering. The CJFI started in Davao City with a handful of beneficiaries sent to private schools and provided with everything they needed.
The advocacy of our founding president, it's the love and compassion. Through the years, I'm able to say that we are giving them the best atmosphere of love and compassion that made the children admitted in the CGFI feel that they are important to the community. So we are successful that as we reintegrate the children to the parents or to the community, we have seen that they are already capable to handle themselves because of the rehabilitation process taken in the center.
Over the years, as a response to the growing numbers of children needing residential care services, CJFI has expanded its centers to Cebu City, Quezon City, Cavite, Laguna, and Pampanga. Today, CJFI has touched the lives of countless Filipino children that were given opportunities in fulfilling their dreams.
I've been a Children's Joy Foundation scholar since elementary until I finished my graduate studies. Currently, I am a psychology professor in Jose Maria College.
I would like to thank Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy, the founding president of the Children's Joy Foundation, the man who is behind of all the success and achievements that I have in my life.
Pastor, thank you so much for molding me and nurturing me to a person that I am today.
With the advocacy of Children's Joy Foundation, it's making sure that more and more children will be ensured of a better future, not just by simply helping them live, but in general, this is actually helping the country to have more productive citizens in the future.
On behalf of the millions of the beneficiaries of the Children's Joy Foundation, thank you, Pastor, for all the blessings that you have given us and for all the things that you have done for us. Thank you for nurturing us and molding us to become better persons that we are today. And thank you, Pastor, for showing us your love and in return for making us instruments of your love to others.
CJFI guides its beneficiaries to become productive, responsible, and active contributing members of the society.
Basically, the primary advocacy of the Children's Joy Foundation is to provide protection and welfare for the children, especially the vulnerable children of the society. And we are giving them the love, the compassion, and providing them their needs.
CJFI's vision is to achieve excellence in its operation in greater heights, empowering children and communities in God's way to live a life of responsibility and accountability, gender-fair caring society, and to become a strong pillar in nation building. CJFI's ultimate mission is to reach out to the greater masses of disadvantaged children by providing them with residential-based support program and community-based support program to achieve their dreams, become responsible and accountable individuals with gender perspective in their community. CJFI is focusing its intervention and support to underprivileged, marginalized, and disadvantaged children in the country who are defined in Presidential Decree number 603 as neglected, dependent, abandoned, and orphaned. The CJFI operates with two core programs, the first of which is the Residential-Based Support Program, or RBSP. It is a 24-hour residential care services for abandoned, orphaned, neglected, and dependent children under the guidance of the CJFI's trained staff.
We focus on providing protection, development, and welfare for these children.
This program has 9 services provided to beneficiaries that include social services,
The documentation of all the children admitted in every center of Children's Joy, and conducting of referrals and case conferences,
home life services,
the provision of the basic needs of the client, at the same time providing a wholesome experience among the clientele in the center to restore their normal social functioning.
educational services, psychological services,
The interventions that we are planning, the interventions that we give them, we see that it is really affecting the child in a positive light.
medical and dental services, sports recreation services, spiritual, religious services, practical skills development services, and aftercare services.
we provided all the necessary facilities that this center becomes a level 3 accredited by DSWD.
It is important to give children a very good and positive environment like what we give here in our center. The feeling, the environment of being in a home and in a family. The program that we have here, the programs and services are not just for the pure of service, but it has the heart.
The social worker and all the staff, the house parents, the psychometrician or psychologist will convene and do the necessary intervention or development plan addressing the problem of the child. So we hope that in a certain period of time, this child will go back to his normal life once they could achieve that kind of development that we are planning for them.
I act as a real parent of the children na maibigay namin talaga yung love na hindi nila naranasan sa pamilya nila para in times na lumabas na sila dito sa shelter or foundation, ma-feel nilang buo na sila kasi naranasan na nila maging may pamilya dito, may mga kapatid. Paggising na sa morning, tinuturuan sila paano mag-arrange ng mga personal belongings nila, tinuturuan sila ng personal hygiene, and then may devotional din sila.
These are all implemented to all the admitted children in the CGFI. We are 100% accountable for the rehabilitation of the children being admitted to the center and to the programs that we are implementing to each one of them.
CJFI's second core program is called Community-Based Support Program, or CBSP. It is designed to support the needs of depressed and calamity-stricken communities. CBSP's main intervention is the provision of daycare center facilities, school supplies, and conducting periodic outreach activities to daycare children.
As our recovery program for the children, we provided 7 daycare centers throughout Leyte and Tacloban areas. We are also able to provide 4 daycare centers in Mindanao. And aside from that is we really respond right away for the disasters. CGFI is almost the first NGO to be there for any calamity, especially during the Typhoon Pablo, Typhoon Haiyan. CGFI is strongly responding to the needs, the basic needs of the people. First, the food, then after that, the recovery program, especially for the children.
We put up water system and provided medical missions, medical support for the victims.
For the past 5 years, CJFI has been very active and consistent in its disaster response and relief operations, providing calamity victims with immediate relief assistance and long-term support. In its 18 years of working for children's welfare and protection, CJFI has remarkably paved the way in changing the lives of the many destitute children who benefited from its programs and services. CJFI has developed and sustained best practices, which include the National Children's Day or NCD, Children's Fun Day, Mobile Computer Laboratory, Annual Tour of Social Workers, and Disaster Response and Relief Assistance. Since its inception in 2005, CJFI's National Children's Day has reached out to thousands of marginalized children in the country whose little dreams and wishes are fulfilled to celebrate their own birthday. The National Children's Day is an annual celebration held every 25th of April, which is the birthday of the CJFI's founding president and has been dedicated to all children in the country. Pastor Apollo's sprawling headquarters in Davao City turns into a theme park every 25th of April as it treats thousands of children to a day of unlimited rides, food and drinks, games and spectacular parade of floats with superheroes, mascots, fairy tale princesses, and anime characters.
You've got to believe in every move that you make. Dance to the beat for your God. Just what it takes. Get off your feet and soar like a bird flying high. It's taking our breath away.
CJFI's project director, Ms. Rose Navalio de Magnaong shares that it is Pastor Kibuloy's wish to leave beautiful memories in the minds of these children, that once in their childhood, somebody remembered them and showed them what it's like to be cared for and loved.
The National Children's Day is an adopted birthday of millions of impoverished children, not only in the Philippines, but also in different parts of the world. That has prompted me to go beyond the borders of the Philippines to declare this as a World Children's Day.
The Children's Fun Day is being held every September. It is considered as one of the CJFI's best practices, conceptualized and implemented in 2012, where children from different child-caring agencies in Davao City and nearby places converge in one location to showcase their talents, interact with one another in friendly games and beach party.
Gusto to lang maraming mga bata.
For Pastor Kibuloy, thank you very much sa tulong mo sa mga bata.
They were able to share their talents and at the same time mag-enjoy.
Looking forward for a fun day again with games and swimming and all the food that is available for them.
They brought smile and happiness. They want to share it to other children.
CJFI's Mobile Computer Laboratory is made possible through the Foundation's partnership with Dell International Services Incorporated, the maker of Dell computers. CJFI has provided opportunity to marginalized children and youth in the countryside to learn computer education and acquire IT skills for free through its mobile computer laboratory project.
Dell provided us computer laboratories that will penetrate in interior barangays of our country and conduct computer lessons for those children who need that kind of support.
We believe in their commitment to the children and in empowering the children with the same amount of education that any type of child who is educated in a public school or private school has access to.
This year, CJFI reached another milestone as its multi-million residential care center in Indangan, Buhangin District, Davao City was inaugurated. The facility could house as much as 300 orphans and has all the luxuries of a 3-star hotel. It is complete with hotel-like bedrooms for children, a library counseling room, dining hall, playground, computer laboratory, and of course, a private school in its very compound, an annex of the Jose Maria College, which Pastor Apollo also founded in honor of his late parents, Jose and Maria Kibuloy. Pastor Kibuloy led the ribbon cutting of the said facility and later faced the local media in a press briefing.
Well, I turned emotional because I remember my childhood. It was mostly pain, suffering, and poverty. And I don't want any child to experience that. To the children that I can be able to reach, I cannot reach all of them, but to the children that I can be able to reach, I don't want them to suffer that. So my satisfaction cannot be paid with millions of dollars when I see children in the NCD, their smiles, their happiness. And when I brought them to Hong Kong, 15 of my beneficiaries, the smiles and the excitement, I said, you cannot pay that. So I said, I cannot bring them all to Hong Kong to make them happy. That's why I said children's joy. I'll bring the joy here, and I'll make a Disneyland type every time, once a year. But all year, we have feeding programs for children.
The CJFI's founding president can't help but be teary-eyed as he recalls his childhood and remembers that young boy Dodong who sometimes slept with an empty stomach and baked pandesal from midnight until the early morning light, just so he could continue his studies. With his heart as big as his dreams, Pastor Apollo sees Dodong in every destitute child, and in his full capacity, he will never let them experience hunger and pain.
Wala gyoy lain nga makalipay sa kasing-kasing sa Diyos, kundili ang mga pobre nga kabataan malipay.
The CJFI will always be in memory of Dodong's long and arduous journey, which ended with a very beautiful story of compassion, redemption, and unconditional love.